Hello Scriptcase developers and welcome back to Macro Day right here on Scriptcase by Jamie. And today we are covering the SC field init off macro. Now this macro is designed to control the initial visibility of fields in grid applications. So it's pretty useful for customizing user interfaces right from the start, ensuring that only relevant data is displayed initially. So let's delve into how this macro can be used to streamline interfaces and enhance your user experience. Okay, so we are here in our blank application. We have our SC field init off macro. And with this macro, well, it inhibits specified query fields from being displayed on the initial load of an application. So in other words, it hides a field. It is ideal for applications where you need to maybe minimize the initial data that is displayed to an end user instead of overloading them. So by hiding certain fields, you can maybe later enable them if you need to. And this can be for various groups or user roles maybe, or however you please. So how to use the SC field init off? Well, the SC field init off macro allows you to specify one or more fields, which can then be hidden. So for instance, I can take this macro and then I can indicate my field name that I want to hide. And I can just type it in there like so, and I can add a comma and I can add my other field, whatever that is called. So just like that, we have a very simple syntax and a few or one parameter really that we can add. And with that one parameter, we can add as many as we need. So for instance, if we have a grid application and if we come here into our samples project, and if I find here a grid somewhere, there we have a grid, and in here we will have some fields. So if I look here for the field, we have here address. So let me go ahead and run this grid application. And then with the grid running, we can see that we have those same fields available. So if I come here into the grid events, and then here on the application init, here I can specify to hide these fields. So for instance, now if I add address here, and we'll also add then, we'll remove then the city ID. And if I go ahead and then run the grid application now, it will have, or will hide those specific fields for me. See, the address has now been removed, and so has the city ID. So now, for instance, we could take this macro and we could say, well, if my user has a specific role, for instance, or a user group or whatever we like. So I could say if user group here, we have then the group variable or the group global that we can use in some situations. And then here we can say if group one, then we are going to hide those fields because it's not really needed for group one. Or we could, of course, give that then the role of the user and just then say if the role would then equal our global variable role, if we would have to add that, of course, and or even get that directly from the table, and then we can specify that otherwise. And then we can add an else in here, and then maybe we want to hide a different field for a different user, and or maybe not just the address, or maybe just the address and not the city ID. Whatever it is you need, you can hide that specific field on load of the grid application, which is pretty useful in complex grids where not all data is really relevant to every user or every situation. So some practical use cases for the SC field init off macro. Well, in critical or in specific scenarios where data needs to be maybe curated for clarity, so you have an easy view where your user roles dictate your data access. It enhances the application's usability by adapting the data presentation to your end users to the context of the user or use preference, which is pretty powerful, right? Now, that is it for today. Looking at the SC field init macro, as you can see, it is an effective macro for managing data presentation within your Scriptcase grid applications, allowing for a cleaner and more focused initial data view maybe. So that is all down to you. Now, if you found this tutorial helpful, please do hit that like button. Let me know you like this video, that it is helpful to you, and that these macro videos are helpful to you. And of course, subscribe so you are always alerted of new ones. And if you like, go ahead, comment, ask me a question, share your thoughts, or whatever it is you like, how you maybe manage your initial data presentation within your applications, if you use this macro at all, or whether you don't. If there is anything specific you'd like to add or explore further, you just need to let me know. And that is all for today. Thank you very much for watching, and until the next macro video next week Friday, right here on Scriptcase by Jamie.